Mr. Chakravarti to chair this session. You can do it from there, you can come from here, either way. Your turn.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Dignitaries of the dais and friends. It's my pleasure to be here this morning and to share some of the views on urbanization and so-called development of smart cities. Before I come to that topic, a small request to the organizers. We want to be smart, but we are still continuing with the old practices which may not be now required. Like giving this bouquet and momentum. These should be discontinued. They will put a waste of time, energy and money. Do what you do. We can have the right of the land and that is no matter and then we can start the proceeding.
Point taken, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. Now coming to the development of our urban areas. First and foremost, why do we want to have urbanization? If you look back throughout the history for the last 3,000, 4,000 years, people have been able, the society has been able to move forward only when they got together. They had some idea, they worked on those ideas collectively, and then they created something good for the society. Whether it was during Pharaoh's time, or during Roman dynasty, Roman Empire, during Christ, thereafter, during Muhammad, wherever we find that people have been able to make progress only when they get together, and that can happen only in urban areas. So it is very necessary that we take care of our urban areas. Secondly, there is a natural migration of people from rural area to urban area. People were living in Janga, they got together, they created villages, they created cities, and there is a continuous migration. It happens all the time. And as you know, today more than 50% people live in urban areas throughout the world. And even in India, the figure is around 31-32%. And we expect that very shortly, we will also be achieving a figure of 50% people living in urban areas. And it's a humongous number. If you look into those numbers, there will be about 600 million as on today who would be living in urban areas. If we take that there is no very increase in the population. So out of 1.2 billion people, 600 million people would be living in urban areas. And if we have to take care of them, we got to go in for planning. And that's not happening very much in India. For the last 60 years, our focus has been on rural areas, and rightly so, because India was growing at a rate of 2.5%, 3%, and we used to call it Hindu rate of growth. At that point of time, nobody ever thought that India would be growing at 8 or 9 or 10%. And then we started growing and we crossed 9%, and we were the second fastest growing economy in the world. Even today, we are the second fastest growing economy in the world. But to make it sustainable, it is necessary that this growth becomes inclusive, number one. And when I say inclusive, it means that we must be in a position to take care of our poor people. And 1/3 of our guys, about say 400 million people are living below the poverty line. And not only that, large number of people who belong to scheduled tribe, backward, minorities, women, they had to be brought into this growth story, this success story. And unless we do that, this growth is meaningless. So what we are looking forward to, two things. First, there is no alternative but to look at our urban areas. Otherwise, there will be a chaos. And this growth success story of 9%, 8%, this will go down further from 5.7% to 2.7% if we do not take care of our urban areas. Secondly, that if we have to create jobs, if we have to create economic activity in a meaningful manner, in a sustainable manner, it is necessary that we look at our urbanization. And secondly, we got to improve the quality of study. So upstream objective is basically economic activity on one side and the quality of life. Our young boys and girls today, they have got a lot of aspiration and expectation. Because of internet, because of access to knowledge and information, they also want to live in decent nature, with dignity, self-respect. And that will come only with first employment and second good quality of life. They are not satisfied with 3 hours, 4 hours of water supply and 6 hours of electricity supply. And we can do it. It's not a rocket science. It requires a little bit of perseverance, a little bit of hard work, and a little bit of plan. Every nook and corner of the country, whether it's a rural area or urban area, will be spotlessly clean. And that will be a mark of respect to Mahatma Gandhi, whose 150th birth anniversary will be on 2nd of October 2019. And it's not only a declaration. As a country, we are determined to achieve this. So we are working on that. Whether it is urban area, we are responsible for urban areas, so we are taking care of urban areas. And a lot of my colleagues are taking care of the rural areas. Secondly, rejuvenation of our heritage cities. We go to all these heritage towns, tourist towns, religious towns, and when we go there to get some kind of a mental peace. But when we come back, there is a lot of irritation. The experience is not very pleasant. Why can't we keep our places of importance neat and clean and beautiful and comfortable? You go to Bodh Gaya, it's a very, very, what should I say, hell kind of an experience. You go there to get moksha. Instead of getting moksha, you get hell. Once I went to Ayodhya a long time back. I think immediately after before Bharat, I'm not very sure. But I saw that even a cow was inside the temple. Monkeys are loitering here, there, everywhere. We cannot keep our places neat and clean. So what do we expect? So Prime Minister has taken a decision that we got to rejuvenate these heritage towns. That means basically he has identified 5 cities, but this number will get increased. Like Amritsar, Ajmer, Kanchipuram, Vengkani, Banaras, Mathura, all these places. Idea is to rejuvenate the soul of these places. When we say rejuvenation does not mean only the packaging part. When we talk about the rejuvenation of our heritage town, it means basically the rejuvenation of the soul of those towns. कि जब आप बनारस जाते हैं तो आप ऐसे जाते हैं कि एक अनुभूति जो आपको होती है वहाँ जाके, that you must get that अनुभूति. That's the idea. And that requires cleaning of our river, cleaning of our streets, temples and everything. The third big ticket item which has been announced in the budget speech is urban renewal of 500 cities. It is basically to learn from the implementation of the urban mission which was called JNNURM earlier. We got to learn from the shortcomings of that program, move forward. It was earlier confined to almost 64 or 65 cities. It has been enhanced to 500 cities. And again, within 10 years' time, all these 500 towns must have a workable, functional, efficient civic system. That means water supply, electric supply, good urban mobility system, sewage, drainage, and solid waste management. And it's not a very difficult process. It requires a little bit of resources, a little bit of work, and I'm sure that within next 5 years, though it's a program of 10 years, but within next 5 years, there will be marked improvement in these towns. And finally, the fourth big ticket item was development of 100 smart cities. And why do we want these 100 smart cities? Nowhere in the world this kind of an exercise of this magnitude has been ever undertaken by any government. People have gone into 1, 2, 3 cities at best. Even in a country like the US, you do not have those development of 100 smart cities. Now coming to, as the predecessor said, what is meant by smart city? When you call somebody smart, what is meant by smartness? Smartness means one, basically the appearance, you look decent, presentable. But that's very transitory and momentary. Smartness means the person who can generate alternatives for any problem, who can give solutions and different solutions, and one who should be able to analyze various alternatives. There will be some pluses, some minuses, and then a call can be taken which to adopt. Einstein was a great scientist not because he had great knowledge, he had great knowledge, but he had the ability to find out the best solution out of million solutions immediately. That was his brilliance. And that's why he was smart. So if we can create alternatives for citizens of our town, that city will be a smart city. Because a person knows that instead of taking this particular road, let me take this road because the traffic congestion is less on this particular road. Instead of taking power supply from company X, I can go to company Y and I can get the connection from company Y. That's an alternative and that's smartness. Metered even water supply. I know how much water is being consumed on a day-to-day basis. So I'll be able to take a conscious decision when to use and how much to use. And once we do that, things will improve. People will find an environment wherein they can give their best. And this is what we are trying to achieve under this program of development of 100 smart cities. So on the one hand side, we got to look into the character of each of these cities to find out the potential for employment opportunities. Like suppose you go to Moradabad. Moradabad has got potential in the brassware industry and maybe related industry. Maybe the cane related, sugar cane related industry. But if you go to Bangalore, maybe IT, horticulture, biotechnology, that's the potential. You go to Bombay, maybe the financial services. So you have to look into each character of each of these cities, find out the potential where the employment opportunities can be created, and thereafter we have to work on these areas कि हम क्या कर दें in these particular areas which have been identified as the potential areas for employment creation, so that many jobs can be created in those areas by the private sector. जैसे मैं भी आपको एग्जाम्पल दिया था बैंगलोर का कि maybe today Bangalore is giving employment to say suppose 1 million young boys and girls in IT. Can we increase it to say 3 million or 5 million? And if we have to do that, what is required in terms of urban infrastructure? This is what we are saying. Suppose if we go to Moradabad, maybe you require different kind of urban infrastructure to take care of brassware industry. Go to Ludhiana or Tirupur for the garment industry, the knitted garment industry or woolen industry. And this is what is meant by smartness. Let us look into all these aspects. Let us apply our mind a little bit and we'll be able to find a solution. That's not a very big deal. On the other hand side, the quality of life, as I said, there are basically the 4 factors. The first is institutional infrastructure. When I talk about institutions, first is the governance, as you were saying, that Boston or some other company, some other city, they define smartness as the smart governance. But that's only a part of the smartness. All public services should be delivered on electronic platform 24/7. वाई अभी जैसे मैं बात कर रहा था और कुछ रोज की रोज न्यूज़ आती है about this regularization of farmhouses. Why can't we create a mechanism so that people sitting in their home can submit an application electronically at any point of time, 24/7? रात के 10 बजे उसको टाइम मिला तो रात के 10 बजे करेगा, और सुबह के 10 बजे टाइम मिला तो सुबह 10 बजे करेगा. There should not be any need for him or her to go to the office of the municipal commissioner. And all services, public services must be delivered electronically. The moment we do that, there will be a lot of transparency, a lot of efficiency, and this is what we want under good governance, institutional infrastructure. Second, safety and security. People are very scared, though the perception is not quite correct, but the perception is that India is not very safe. Can't we make it 100%, not 100%, almost 95%, 98% safe? And that can be done with the help of technology again. If we have a lot of surveillance cameras, and if they are connected, and if they are connected with other gadgets also which are capturing information, we can cut down our crime to a large extent. अभी दिल्ली में लगा रखे हैं कुछ कैमरास, सर्वेलेंस कैमरा, बट वो स्टैंड अलोन कैमरा. मान लो मेरे घर में भी एक प्राइवेट कैमरा लगा है. Can I connect it with a network of police department's network? And if I do that, so that piece of information, any intruder who is getting into my home, how? That information will be captured by my private camera and that will get transmitted to the control room. And that is what is smartest. And we can do it. कोई रॉकेट साइंस नहीं है, बहुत सारे कंट्रीज में कर रखा है, बहुत सारे सिटीज में कर रखा है. और ये भी नहीं कि only the advanced countries and advanced cities have done it. It can be done very easily, it's not very, very difficult. Third, when I talk about the institutional infrastructure, again, it has to be inclusive. We've got to take care of poor section of the society, the disadvantaged section of the society. And unless we do that, we'll never have peace in this country. So that is the job of the government, to ensure that the benefit of development are accruing to every citizen of this country, and especially those who have been marginalized. We have to go out of our way to hold their hand and to bring them in the mainstream. So that is institutional framework. Second is physical. I am not going to take much of your time on it. Everybody knows about sewage, water supply, solid waste management, electric supply, water supply, and all these things. And urban mobility. This can be done. A lot of new technologies have been developed, and this is what I was discussing with Mr. Agarwal when I was coming to this conference. That we got to create a platform where all these technologies, all these vendors can come together to showcase their technologies, processes, and products. And all the municipal bodies, they can take advantage of that. So we are trying to have some kind of an exhibition by end of October or beginning November on this. Idea is to take advantage of the private sector, and wherever there is some kind of a viability gap, that will be funded either by the state government or ULB or by the government of India, and this is what we are trying to do under the Smart City program. But the major component of this funding should go for the urban mobility. That's a very, very big challenge. And when I talk about urban mobility, it's basically three things. Wherever possible, let's go in for monorail, or BRT, or metro rail. Unless we improve our public transport system, we will never be able to make that city globally competitive. And now, whole lot of cities are going in for metros. Some smaller towns can go in for monorails and BRT and other things. Second is elevated road. Even in a place like Delhi, if you want to go from here to Gurgaon or Dwarika, you will take about an hour or little more than an hour. Why so? Can we give confidence to our citizens कि चाहे कुछ हो जाए, wherever you want to move from one place to another place in Delhi, you will not take more than 30 minutes. And if you have got some underpasses, long underpasses, some elevated roads, you can easily resolve this issue. That is smart. Instead of creating these roller coasters आप एक जगह जाते हैं, आधे किलोमीटर का रो एक फ्लाईओवर है, दूसरी जगह पे फंस जाएंगे, किसी और जगह पे सिग्नलाइजेशन रहेगा. इट इज नॉट सर्विंग एनी पर्पस. And that is not smartness. We spend a lot of money, but we did not increase the capacity of the road. If you have to take care of congestion, you got to increase the capacity of the road. So that is physical infrastructure. Then social infrastructure. Primarily education and health. अब वो देखते हैं 3-4 अच्छे स्कूल हैं, स्टेप बाय स्टेप, श्रीराम वाला और एक दो और हैं. Everybody is going for that. They have to spend a lot of money, and they are extremely relevant guys. But still, we don't get admission for our kids. You go to R.K. Puram, Sanskriti. Why can't we have thousands of such institutions of that quality in every nook and corner, in every neighborhood? And again, that can be achieved with the help of technology, with the help of e-learning and e-education. Surely, the best quality content in 2-dimensional and 3-dimensional dimension figures. We can improve the quality of education. And this is my favorite topic actually, education, the quality of education. हम बहुत खुश होते हैं जब अपने आप को कहते हैं कि that we have got a pool of young guys, and as per one estimate, 450 million guys would be available by 2020 in the age range of 1 to 90. And this group can play the role of engine for growth. However, instead of becoming a necessity, this will become a liability if we do not impart good quality education and good quality skills. और अगर आप देखेंगे, even I studied in the best schools and colleges, but many times, and I would say almost 20% concepts were not very clearly understood by us. रटने में थे, रट लेते थे, वही reproduce करते without understanding even a word of that. And I can guarantee, even today, most of us do not know even basic small concepts. Because the quality of teacher is not very good, the quality of teaching is not very good. और ऐसा नहीं है कि the boys and girls, young boys and girls, they don't want to learn about science and mathematics. हमारे पढ़ाने का तरीका so defective है that they lose all interest. And that can be achieved with the help of technology and in each and every neighborhood. This is what we want under social. Second, cost efficient and good quality health services. With the help of telemedicine, and my own dream is that every citizen must have an electronic health record which is available on real-time basis. So that even a person is in New York or in Timbuktu or in Dubai or in Coimbatore, he will be able to have access to that electronic record, health record, whenever there is a requirement. And that's again not a very simple thing. And moreover, we are in an advantageous position because we do not have a problem of legacy. So this is what we want to do. And this is the institutional, physical, social and economic framework, economic infrastructure. When I say economic, that means we got to create large number of institutions and platforms for skill building. अभी आप देखें माली नहीं मिलता है, ड्राइवर रोज ढूंढते रहते हैं, गुड क्वालिटी ड्राइवर इज नॉट इन दिस कंट्री. एक तरफ कहते हैं कि वी डू नॉट हैव इनफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, ऑन द अदर हैंड वी डू नॉट हैव गुड क्वालिटी माली, गुड क्वालिटी ड्राइवर, गुड क्वालिटी डोमेस्टिक हेल्थ, द कुक, द इलेक्ट्रिशियन, द प्लम्बर, मेसन, carpenter. Why can't we create such things? And today with a lot of technologies are available, and these technologies have not been exposed to these guys. अभी भी वो centuries old practices को use कर रहे हैं. So I'm sure that if we take care of these two, one on economic activity, one is on the quality of life, things are bound to improve, and we'll be able to create an environment which will encourage our young boys and girls to take up enterprises, to create many more jobs, and to create wealth for this country. And only then we'll be able to bring peace and prosperity to this country. But I am 100% sure and confident that come what may, we will be able to realize this vision with your cooperation, collaboration with financial institutions, private sector enterprise, industry and academia. We are going to work as a team. We are always available. We will always be at your beck and call. We'll hold your hand and we'll move forward. Thank you very much.